Hey girls, and welcome to the Rice Effect, where we focus on the things that affect you. Now, my name is Stephanie Rice. Now, if you're new or you just haven't subscribed yet, make sure you press that red subscribe button. And while you're at it, press that notification bell and choose all so that you don't miss not another video of mine. Now, if you're not aware, for the past couple of videos, we've been focusing on the Follicle Stimulating Hair Challenge, where we nourish the scalp and feed the hair follicle, promoting healthy hair, less shedding, and rejuvenation of the hair follicle, promoting regrowth. Now, last week, I gave a tutorial on how to make the Follicle Stimulating Moisture Hair Mask and also the Moisture Scalp Mud. I must tell you, that moisturizing mask made curls pop, softened hair, and tangles were what? A memory, okay? So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you watch that video, okay? Because this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on the strengthening masks, the strengthening scalp mask, and also the strengthening hair mask, because we want to keep the balance, okay? So what we're doing is we're alternating 1 week moisture and 1 week strengthening, and back and forth, okay? That's the safest way for our hair to thrive and keep healthy. So today, I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on the Follicle Stimulating Strengthening Hair Mask and Scalp Mud. So come on, let's go. Hey there, and welcome to the strengthening week of our Follicle Stimulating Hair Challenge. Now, right now, I'm going to be giving you a demonstration on the strengthening scalp mud as well as the strengthening hair mask. Okay, so we're going to be working with the strengthening hair mask first. Here is the star of our show, fenugreek. Fenugreek is packed with protein. It feeds the follicle and nourishes it and also rejuvenates it to the point where it promotes regrowth of hair that have not been there for some time. Bringraj is great for the scalp and great for the hair, helps the hair grow, fortifies the follicle, and nourishes the scalp. Saw palmetto is our powerful DHT blocker in this challenge. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but DHT is the hormone that unfortunately causes hair loss and hair thinning. And this saw palmetto blocks that DHT from even forming. Horsetail. In the plant life kingdom, horsetail has the most silica than any other plant. Silica is so very important because it's one of the key players in the building of collagen. Silica promotes elasticity in the hair and prevents breakage. Neem is wonderful for any scalp or skin ailment. When it comes to acne, psoriasis, eczema, lice, fungus, whatever it may be, neem is magnificent for the scalp and hair growth. Amla. Only second to the Bayesian cherry, amla in the plant life kingdom contains the most vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is a key player in the production of collagen also. So it works very, very well with silica to promote that collagen. And collagen promotes keratin, which is what our hair is made of. Next, we have our 3 moisture and fortifying powerhouses. Okay, the first is hibiscus. This beautiful form of plant life that we know as the hibiscus flower is potent with vitamin C, but also it is so very moisturizing to the skin and to the hair. And it's also a follicle booster. Neem is great for any scalp problem that one may have. It's great for acne, eczema, psoriasis, fungus, lice. It's also a great hair grower and follicle booster. And last but not least, rose. Rose is such a wonderful addition here because rose is super moisturizing, but also it acts as a mild cleanser, and so does hibiscus for that matter. But rose also promotes rapid skin turnover. Now, considering that our body sheds over 1 million dead skin cells a day, rose is definitely a welcome addition to our follicle health. Now, before we go any further, I just feel the need to have an Ayurvedic public announcement, okay? And that is, do you see this? This is, well, the spoon itself is a tablespoon, but this is a heaping tablespoon, which may be around a tablespoon and a half or a tablespoon and 2 teaspoons in it, okay? Which is not what we want. We want the exact measurement for the safety and the health of our hair, okay? So this is what you do. You just take that amount, just slope it off at the top, and make the top flat. That's what we want. We want that flatness. This is an actual tablespoon, okay? So make sure that you follow all of the measurements to a T for this challenge. All right. Let's get back to it. Okay, so let's get this show on the road, okay? So now what we're going to do is get together our 8-week challenge supply, okay? Because that's what all of these amounts represent, okay? So I'm gonna get my trusty measuring cup. Now, I'm gonna add fenugreek, 3 tablespoons of fenugreek. Bringraj, 2 teaspoons. 1.5 teaspoons saw palmetto, 2 teaspoons horsetail, 2 teaspoons neem, 2 teaspoons hibiscus, 2 teaspoons rose, 1 teaspoon amla. Okay, so I'm going to take my hard plastic spoon and just combine this all together until I get one solid color, okay? Beautiful, everything's coming together. Now, if you're new at this, I would suggest that you get a mask, and you know everybody's got a mask nowadays, okay? Now I'm gonna take my wisp and just make sure that that hibiscus is not lumpy, okay? Because hibiscus can get lumpy. It's very moisturizing. Wonderful. So now I have my container here and I have it labeled. Make sure that you label everything because you will forget what it is, okay? And you don't want to forget what it is when you're dealing with protein. And here is our 8-week supply of our strengthening hair mask. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to making our hair gloss. Okay, so here is our challenge supply, and we're going to take 5 teaspoons out of there. Okay, remember true measurements. 1, 2, 5. Fantastic. Okay, so now I'm taking my spoon. You see that how that hibiscus just came out? You're gonna find some hibiscus clumps, okay? So just make sure you do this very well. Okay, great. So now I'm going to take my wisp. That works best for me, to do the spoon and then to do the wisp. And you see, look at that. You see that hibiscus right there? Make sure you get those hibiscus clumps out. So you can have a nice smooth paste. It'll be much easier, I assure you. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little hot water, okay? Start making our paste. Not too much. And hibiscus has a really, really nice slip too. And so does the fenugreek, so. It's funny, hibiscus always takes that dominant color. And that's even You know, this is darker than what our moisture mask was, but that's even more reason to label your stuff. Don't get confused. And a little more water. Now, keep in mind, when you add water to fenugreek, it starts to thicken anyway. And it's gonna get much thicker. Okay, that's really nice. So what I have here is a half a tablespoon of the follicle stimulating growth oil. We made that in another video, so make sure you watch that video so that you can make that too. We're gonna put that in there. It's a half a tablespoon. Very nice. All right, let's see what it does. Oh, that's so nice. Look at that gloss. Look at it start to shine. Now that we have this beautiful smooth gloss, what we're going to do is we're going to add in 1/3 of a cup of moisturizing conditioner. Now what I'm using today is Aussie Miracle Moist Conditioner, okay? You always want to use a moisturizing conditioner, especially when you're dealing with protein. This one has avocado in it and it has jojoba oil, okay? And this one is mega cheap. 26 fluid ounces only costs $5.99, okay? So let's just scoop this out and let's get to stirring it up. Okay, now that we made it nice and smooth, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little more water. Now, how much water I usually keep handy is maybe around 2 ounces. You know, so. Now we're going to add in some more growth oil. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon. Look how, now you can see how really pretty it is. Look at that. And that's made of safflower oil, hemp oil, and Jamaican black castor oil. You know, lots of penetrating oils. So this is going to penetrate your hair shaft as well as penetrate your scalp, go right to the follicle. Very nice. And it's gonna carry those other ingredients. So it's amazing. Look at that, how beautiful. Now, because I know that the fenugreek is going to expand, what we want to do is add just a tinge more of that hot water. Okay? Very nice. And keep in mind, don't be worried if you don't like watery consistency, because we're going to leave this to sit for 4 to 8 hours. Okay? So it'd be a good thing if you did this at night and then let it sit while you sleep, and then use it in the morning for your wash day. After you put on your scalp mud, put this on your hair only, okay? What we're trying to avoid in this challenge is putting conditioner on our scalp. We don't want to do that, okay? The Follicle Stimulating Strengthening Hair Gloss. Now it's time to get our Strengthening Scalp Mud Challenge supply together. So first we're gonna start with 5 tablespoons of fenugreek, 4 teaspoons of bringrage, 4 teaspoons of saw palmetto, 4 teaspoons of horsetail, 2 teaspoons neem, 4 teaspoons hibiscus, 4 teaspoons rose, and 4 teaspoons amla. Wow, would you look at that? Now let's stir all this up. And look at all the nice different colors. Okay, we're gonna stir this up until it becomes one uniform color. Okay, now we're going to transfer it in our challenge jar. Now I picked a bigger jar instead of this. I picked this just to make sure, because it is a lot more, because we want all that goodness to cover our scalp. Mega potent. Let's do it. Beautiful. So here it is, maybe around 3/4 of the jar. Okay, so now we're going to put together our scalp mud. Let's do it. Now from our supply, we're going to use 8 teaspoons, okay? So I'm going to take a tablespoon because 8 teaspoons are 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons. 1. And 2. Okay, now I'm just going to take my whisk. And see, I can see the hibiscus already breaking up. Now just be sure to shake the contents of your jar up always before you use, so that you get all the goodness. You want all of that, not just one thing, but everything. Because everything is everything, baby. Okay, now I have some warm water, again, some hot water, that I'm just gonna put in here. Good, little by little. Okay, now we're gonna put just a little oil in here. I have 1.5 teaspoons of my growth oil, my Ayurvedic growth oil. Really follicle stimulating, strengthening growth oil. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's nice. And it's kind of thick, so I want to stretch it just a little bit. Okay, just a little more water in there. Because you want it to glide over the scalp. Of course, it's going to have a little thickness to it because there's fenugreek in there. So we want to add extra water in there anyway, okay? That's very nice. Put a little more oil. Nice. Now remember, we put 8 teaspoons in here, so we can be a little generous with our water, because with our mask, our strengthening mask, we used 5 teaspoons. This is 8, okay? So whether you have a small head or whether you have a big head, this is going to go over very nicely. You just make sure that you make some parts going back, and you apply this onto the middle of the part. And then after you've gone down all those parts, then just go horizontally, just distribute it horizontally. It only takes once or twice to see what I mean, okay? A little more oil, the rest of the oil. And a little bit of water. Good, that should do it. Beautiful. Let's see how this feels. Oh, it feels nice. It feels nice and soft already. Now you realize that I didn't put any conditioner. Make sure that you don't put any conditioner in the scalp mud, okay? Because we want every single bit of this potency. Look at that. The follicle stimulating, strengthening scalp mud. Thank you so much for visiting me today. I always have a great time doing these videos. DIYs are my thing because it rejuvenates and feeds the body instead of poisoning it. And if you like this video, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up. And also share it with someone else, because if you liked it and found it useful, there's probably someone out there that finds it useful too. Okay, until next video, until the delicious tea video. See you there. Bye.